I want to bring you on this message. God will. We're all work in progress. Why I'm telling this? Kasi naranasan ko yan eh.
The Joel D Experience.
What's up, guys? It's your Kuya Pats, and welcome back to our podcast, The John Lee Experience. TJX. This is our third episode for this year. At masipag ang inyong Kuya Pats gumawa ng episode ngayon dahil wala tayong masyadong ginagawa ngayon kasi nagpapahinga tayo. Some of you here, you know what happened. But I don't want to magnify that. Mahalaga, malakas tayo. Pinalakas tayo ng Panginoon. Okay. Excuse me. Ngayon, napakaganda ng topic natin. Very surgical. It will really hit you with reality. Real talk ito, mga kapatid. Okay? At hindi lang ito basta in-outline, kundi experience to. Okay? And ang malupit sa experience na to, hindi lang ito yung mga modern problems and challenges. Ngayon, modern nga di ba? Hindi lang ito Gen Z dilemmas. Hindi lang ito alpha, kasi may alpha na or millennials problems. Kundi, noon pa lang, let's say, biblical problem na ito. Hindi na ako magpapaligoy-ligoy pa, diretso na tayo kasi gusto ko maraming masabi dahil, yun nga, maganda, 30 minutes lang or less ang ating mga episodes kasi baka naiinip kayo. Para saktong-sakto pag papunta kayo sa Tarlac or papunta kayo sa eskwelahan ninyo, pagpasok ninyo, tapos nyo na kagad. Diba? Yung iba kasi nabibitin kasi nga nandun na sila kagad sa workplace nila or sa school nila pero hindi pa nila tapos kasi sobrang haba. Okay, huwag na tayo magpaligoy-ligoy pa. Okay, ang ganda ng title natin. Huwag kang masyadong feeling. Oh, huwag kang masyadong feeling. At ngayon, bigay ko sa inyo yung konteksto. Bakit ko naisip gawin itong episode na to? Last year ba yun? Actually, this year lang eh. After New Year, siguro mga first week, we had our fellowship with the pastors. And may isang punto doon na talagang tumama sa akin. Wow. That's a good topic That's a good and interesting perspective or proposition. Gawan ko nga yun. At ito yun. Huwag ka masyadong feeling. And then, nakausap ko yung mga ibang pastors, nangyari sa akin, nangyari sa mga leaders. Okay, let's create an episode. But, I want to ask you provoking questions. Mga ilang questions lang para painitin natin itong topic na to. Okay? Painitin natin kasi hindi pa mainit eh. Unang question is this. Have you ever felt celebrated only when you were useful? Yung nagse-celebrate lang yung mga tao kasi successful ka. Nagse-celebrate lang yung mga tao kasi useful ka. Kasi may nabibigay ka. Kasi may nabe-benefit sila sa'yo. Kasi na-affirm mo sila. Kasi na-bless sila sa'yo. Okay? Or kasi may pinapakain ka sa kanila. Are you getting it? For example, sa birthday party, ang question dito is, are they really going to your party because of you? Because they want to celebrate with you, for you? Or are they going to your party because pinapakain mo sila? May paborito kang spaghetti, in-invite mo sila, at pumunta ka. In-invite ka nung celebrant, and then pumunta ka, nakikain ka, and after that, umuwi ka na kagad na parang balloon ka lang na parang hinanginan ng helium and then lumipat na agad, whatever. Have you ever felt that? That you were just being celebrated only when you were useful. But after that, they go away. Sakit. Have you ever felt this na na-appreciate ka lang ng mga tao kasi meron kang output? Kasi ang ganda ng preaching mo. Kasi ang ganda ng sermon mo. Kasi tumama sa kanila yung sermon mo. Or kasi merong event Kasi na-lead mo sila doon sa event na yon. Kasi meron kang contribution. Kasi ang bait mo sa kanila. But here's the thing. What happens kapag pagod ka nang intindihin sila? What happens kapag you're rebuking them? What happens kapag you are correcting their somehow private sin? Somehow what they're doing sa ibang tao? At kapag tahimik ka na, kapag hindi ka na somehow, excuse me, nabe-bless or nakakapagbigay sa kanila at hindi na sila nagbe-benefit sa iyo. At hindi ka na relevant sa ibang tao or sa inyong team or sa inyong kumpanya or sa inyong church or sa inyong ministry or sa inyong pamilya, tsupi ka na. The question is this. Kapag hindi ka na relevant, kapag tahimik ka na, kapag hindi ka na beneficial, ang tanong, mahal ka pa ba nila? Or mahal ka lang nila kasi meron kang kayang ibigay? Alam niyo po, masakit man aminin, no? Pero madalas, hindi minsan, pero madalas, in our family, in our company, even in our ministry, ito na, this is the main idea. Mahal lang nila yung gift mo, pero hindi ka talaga nila mahal as a tao. Ulitin ko yun. Sakit nun eh. Let that sink in. Mahal ka lang nila dahil sa gift mo, pero hindi ka talaga nila mahal as a tao. Kaya kapag nalaubos na, kapag nalaos na, kapag nag-fade na yung gift mo, hindi na beneficial yung gift mo, parang ubos na rin yung pagmamahal nila sa'yo. That's why, alam niyo po, ang daming mga nababaliw at napaparaning at mga nalulungkot, nade-depress na anxious na mga artista eh. I mean, yung mga nasa entertainment, yung mga famous sila years ago, tapos may mga lumabas na mga bagong artista na mas magaling, yung gift sa kanila, mas gwapo sa kanila, nababaliw sila. Bakit ganun? Hindi na ako pinapansin ng mga fans ko. Kumonti na yung mga fans ko. Bakit ito? Kasi kauusbong pa lang, kasi sibol pa lang, sila na yung lagi pinapansin. You know what? Dahil akala ng mga artista, hindi lang sa mga artista, sa lahat ng mga tao, even pastors, even leaders, even if you're a boss, even if you're a parent, even if you're a brother, kung nasang industriya ka man, akala natin, tayo mismo yung minamahal ng mga tao around us. But here's the reality. Ang minamahal talaga ng mga tao is dahil may gift ka. Dahil nagbe-benefit sila sa'yo. Dahil, kinikilig sila sa'yo. Dahil, mabait ka sa kanila. Dahil, pinakakain mo sila. Dahil, natututo sila sa'yo. Dahil, nauutangan ka nila. But, tanggalin mo yung mga bagay na yun. Ikaw lang mismo. Wala kang gift. Wala silang mabe-benefit sa'yo. Wala silang mahihita sa'yo. Wala silang pakinabang sa'yo. Would they still love you? That's the question. Because I tell you, it happens. It happens. Now, kung titignan natin, no, biblically speaking, hindi lang ito basta modern problem or Gen Z problem or church problem or company problem. Long way before, Jesus actually experienced this. The Jesus experience. Because Jesus himself experienced this in John chapter 6. Read it. Diba? Minahal lang nila. Okay, daming mga disciples, ang daming tagapakinig, ang daming mga followers ni Jesus. Kasi sikat na sikat siya during that time eh. Diba? Bakit? Kasi may miracle. Kasi merong tinapay. Kasi merong pinagagaling. Kasi may benefit. And during that time, ang mga rabbi, Jesus is a rabbi. Ang mga rabbi during that time, kung titignan nyo ang konteksto, they are like superstar or mga rockstar. Kaya kapag dikit ka sa rockstar, which is yung mga rabay, aba, iba yung dating sa yun, di ba? For example, assistant ka ng Daniel Padilla, assistant ka ng mga Bini, pag associated ka doon, feeling mo, ikaw na rin si Daniel Padilla or si LeBron James or si Stephen Curry or kung sino mang sikat na tao na yan or mga Beanie dancers, whatever, di ba? Parang ganun yun eh. Now, sumasama sila kay Jesus kasi may benefit, may bread, may miracles, may sikat si Jesus. But, si Jesus very ang galing, grabe. Siguro, kung nandito si Jesus ngayon, ang daming ma-offend talaga sa kanya. Sabi ni Jesus, sumusunod kayo sa akin at hinahanap niyo ako. Hindi naman dahil you're really following and asking for signs. But you're following me because you are just being filled with loaves. Nagbe-benefit kayo sa akin eh. Ngayon, tinuro na ni Jesus yung mga hard truths. Remember? Kung hindi nyo ako inumin, hindi nyo kakainin yung flesh ko, whatever, ano nangyari? Many of his disciples turned back and no longer walked with him. John 6:66. 6:66 talaga, no? Here's the thing. Most of the people around you, sad reality, mga kapatid. Nangyayari ito, Hindi lang sa kumpanya nyo, hindi lang sa pamilya ninyo, pati sa simbahan, sa tahanan, sa eskwelahan, kahit saan. Sometimes. Hindi ko nilalahat, Kaya mamaya, lagyan natin ng application to. Baka mamaya puro problematic, diba? Maganda, talaga siya. Solution-based siya. Hindi siya problem-based. But sometimes, guys, people just loved the benefits, but not the person himself. Herself. Minsan, tingin lang nila sa'yo, ang relationship lang nila is, oy, nandiyan si pastor, tuturuan ako niyan. At i-guide ako niyan sa mga event. But there's no actually a deep relationship between you and your disciple. Sometimes, tinitignan ka lang ng mga subordinates mo kapag boss ka. Kasi dahil pinasasahod mo sila. Kapag wala na yung sahod, kapag nagkamali ng konti sa OT, at medyo na-delay yung sahod, bang bang, dole agad. Or vice versa, nandyan ka lang, o kung ikaw ang boss, nandyan lang yung mga members mo or mga subordinates mo, do you see that? Nakikita mo lang sila na matutulungan nila ako sa trabaho Pag hindi na nila ako tulungan, I will hire another one. Kaya ganyan yung mga nangyayari sa basketball sa NBA. Ako talaga na naiintindihan ko yung mga players. Kung gaano kasakit yung i-trade or yung kapag na-injured ka, may injury ka, tapos tatanggalin na yung contract mo and they will hire another player who is healthier and better than you and then bang bang. Tapos ka na. Tapos na yung career mo. Why? Because it's about business. And as Christians, nagre-reflect ako, sana wag tayong maging ganun. Let's not see ministry in our church, in our relationship, as business. That I love you because I'm benefiting from you. But bro, I love you. Wala man akong mahita sa'yo, wala man akong makuha sa'yo, I love you. Kaya po ako personally, isa sa mga battle cry ko to at nirarally ko talaga sa church to. Tayo ako. Yung, guys, love one another. John 13, sinabi ng Panginoon, how would the people know that you are my disciples if you love one another? In fact, there are 59 one another's in the New Testament. Inulit-ulit. Itong battle cry ko Ito yung lagi kong nilalaban, guys. Mahalin natin bawat isa. Encourage one another. Alam ko, nasaktan tayo. Alam ko, nagkasakitan or whatever. Pero here's the thing sometimes, ikaw na nga yung nasasaktan. Ikaw na yung nasaktan. Pero ikaw pa rin yung lumalapit. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because you show your love and you show your faith in the Christ-likeness kasi yun ang calling natin. Hindi ko sinasabing huwag kang maging careful. Hindi ko sinasabing huwag kang mag-set ng boundaries. But after all the hurts, after all the people who wronged you, bakit ikaw pa rin yung nag-approach sa mga taong ito? Yung iba nga, parang sila na yung nagkamali, nagkasala, tapos sila pa yung hurt. But still, we try to reach them. Bakit? Kasi yun yung calling natin May mapapala ba ako kapag nilapitan ko pa tong mga nakasakit sa'yo, nakasakit sa atin? No. Ang mapapala ko dito is this. I learned how to apply what I preach, what we preach, what I learned from the Bible. It's not about getting something from them. And every time we try to reach these people, hindi ko naman sinasabi, guys, balik na kayo sa ministry. Or guys, maging loyal na kayo ulit sa church or sa mga leaders. No. We don't say that. Ang lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila, guys, I want you to know that we care for you. We're just here. And I want your relationship with God be deeper. Have intimacy with the Lord. May napapala ba yung mga pastor, yung mga leader, o yung mga boss, o yung mga mabubuting boss, o yung mga mabubuting member, mga mabubuting pamilya, mga magulang, when they reach that member of the family, that son or that daughter na nagrebelde, may mapapala ba yung mga magulang kapag in-approach? Wala naman But because they love the person. Man, I tell you, ako po, ang dami kong experience sa ganyan. May napala ba yung nanay at tatay ko? After all the rebellions and after all the stubbornness and hindi naman ako nagrebelde sa kanila. Pero stubborn siguro ako. Hindi ko lang sinunod yung calling ko. Hindi ko lang sinunod yung payo ng mga magulang ko. Hindi naman sila nagkulang sa akin At dahil nag-disobey ako, ang dami mga nangyari sa buhay ko. 15 years ago, 10 years, 12 years ago. But they keep on reaching me. They reached me. May mapapala ba sila sa akin? Hindi. Lagi nga silang abunado Sakit nga ng ulo nila But because there are people who reached me. There are people who trusted me. Not because they benefited from me. Not because I have gifts. Not because Jomel is famous. And kung famous man ako nun sa kalokohan. But they love me as a person. They love Jomel D himself. Period. And I hope maging ganun din po tayo. Alam niyo, kahit sa church, nangyayari yan. Kahit sa ministry, nangyayari yan. Not all the people inside your team will truly love you because you are Jomel D. Or because you are Gerald. Or because you are just Joshua. You are just Kina. Some of you will just love you because he is the leader, he is the pastor, anak ng pastor, anak ng bishop, asawa ng pastor, kapatid niya doktor, or maybe dahil malapit siya dun sa pastor, or dahil ang galing niya mag-preach, dahil nakakatawa siya, the reason they're loving these people. But the question is this, do you love that person? Dahil mahal mo siya, period. If you're going to read Galatians chapter 4, si Apostle Paul, may sinabi siya dun Sabi niya, have I become your enemy by telling you the truth? Have I become your enemy by telling you the truth? Why? Because Paul was loved when he was just useful. And he was rejected when he was faithful dun sa doktrina. At nung kinokorek niya yung mga tao. Di ba? And sometimes, mabait lang yung mga tao sa atin kapag mabait ka din sa kanila. Pero kapag yung kinorek mo na sila, bro, hindi maganda yan. Unti-unti silang lumalayo. When you confront their activities, bro, that's not good. Sa'yo, sa church, sa leadership, at sa relationship mo kay Lord, man, ano nangyayari? They turn their backs sa'yo. Nakakalungkot yun. Ako po, mga kapatid, the reason I'm firm, it's because I know what I did last summer. I'm firm with my decisions. I really pursue righteousness, though I'm not. Hindi ko sinasabing self-righteous ako or righteousness ako. Ang righteousness ko na kay Lord, na kay Jesus Christ. And I'm trying to pursue and practice righteousness at ini-imitate ko ang Panginoon. Not on my own works, but because the Holy Spirit is leading me to do it. But, as tao, you have to cooperate with the Holy Spirit. Tinatawag natin sanctification, though ang Holy Spirit ang nagsasanctify sa atin, but we have to cooperate. Me, as a leader, I am firm and dedicated sa calling ko. I'm firm, bro. Hindi ganda yan. To my wife, to myself, sometimes I'm hard. At alam ko kasi yung feeling na nadiderail yung calling mo. Hindi ko sinasabing nawawala, binabawi yung calling, kundi parang natatamaan. So you have to be careful with that. But here's the thing. Sometimes, when you correct those people, they don't appreciate it. Akala nila, it's an attack sa personality mo. It's an attack sa relationship ninyo. It's an attack sa kung saan man. But they do not see the benefit of correcting, rebuking, reproofing those activities in love. Bro, kaya nga kita kinorek kasi mahal kita eh. Diba? Kung hindi kita mahal, kung wala akong pakialam sa'yo, mamatay ka na dyan. Diyan ka magaling, diyan ka na rin ilibing. Wala akong pakialam sa'yo. But because I care for you, I care for the church, I care for your calling, I care with your relationship with God, I have to say this. And I know the cost of telling the truth. I know the cost of being firm. Man, sa totoo lang, sa ministry po, ang dami yung nangyari sa buhay ko. Na mga hindi ko inaasahan. Wala talaga sa, hindi ko lubos isipan na mangyayari. Hindi ko lubos isipan na gagawin ng mga tao yun. Akala ko, dahil sobrang lalim na ng relationship namin, dahil sobrang lalim na ng pinagsamahan namin, kasabay namin natutulog, kasabay namin kumakain, kasabay namin kulang na lang maligo, magkatabi kami sa kama. Then all of a sudden, mga mangyayari palang ganun. Tinanggap mo ng buo, kahit hindi naman taga dito sa church na to, tinanggap mo ng buo at kung anong meron yung binigay mo rin, whatever, you sacrifice. Kasi, ang ganda nung may nag-chat sa akin. And I really appreciate. Sabi niya, you know what, Jomel? You and your dad really leading us confidently. And ang sabi ng si Kuya Joe. Kuya Joe, shout out. Thank you so much po. You are leading the church and the team confidently. At itong nakakabless sa inyong dalawa. Hindi kayo insecure. Yeah. Kasi bakit ka may insecure? Sa mga taong umuusbong na mas magaling sa'yo, that's my goal. That's my heart. That my disciples will be better than me. Diba? Yun nga yung heart ni Jesus eh. Diba? Nung umalis siya, doon umusbong ang Christianity. Pero hindi ko sinasabing mas matindi sila kay Jesus. When it comes sa reach lang yon, when it comes sa numbers lang yon. Kasi si Jesus around, ano lang siya Jerusalem at bandang Israel. Pero hindi siya lumabas. Hindi siya pumuntang India. Or whatever. Pero sila Paul, sila Peter, di ba? sila John, talagang lumabas outside Jerusalem. Mas matindi, mas malawak ang reach. But here's the thing. I'm not insecure. Kung may mas magaling na preacher sa akin, okay, good. Kung mas nakakatawa tong preacher na to, at na-appreciate nila tong preacher, okay, good. Pero ngayon, nasa part na kasi ako ng, wala na ako sa pagalingan. Nasa part na ako ngayon ng, okay, I need to finish my calling. I have to be faithful with my calling. I have to do what God tells me to do. Kung mas magaling itong mga batang preachers, great. Kaya ngayon, I'm enjoying working behind the scene. This week lang, natapos ko yung manual ng Missionary Pastors and Church Planters Manual. Natapos ko siya ngayon. Sinend ko na kay Bishop. Bishop, of course, siya yung senior pastor and siya yung nag-approve kung okay na yan. Doon ako nag-enjoy. I'm enjoying teaching theology, raising leaders. And I know my calling. Here's the thing, guys. 6 minutes na lang. Sa ministry, sa buhay, sa kumpanya, sa tahanan, sa lahat ng ginagawa mo, always remember this. Ito ang aking punot dulo. Jesus must increase. I must decrease. Ulitin ko po yan. Jesus must increase and I must decrease. Naiintindihan ko po. Truly, sobrang naiintindihan ko na lahat ng ginagawa ko ay para sa Panginoon. Lahat ng ginagawa ko ay para sa next generation. If people do not appreciate me as a person, or they're just appreciating what I do, good. But it is very clear na lahat ng ginagawa ko, whether sa Lord, whether sa tao, whether sa sarili ko, it's all for His glory. Period. Kaya, hindi man ako batiin, kaya, hindi man ako irespeto, I don't care. What matters is this, Lord, I want to be faithful doon sa calling na ibinigay mo sa akin. Kasi lahat naman tayo, guest lang dito sa mundo eh. Our home is in heaven. So, He must increase, I must decrease. Alam niyo po, minsan talaga sa ministry kasi meron talagang tendency yung mga tao. Itataas talaga nila yung mga bangko nila. That's why, maganda po, always keep yourself grounded. Talk with people. Gawin mo yung mga bagay na hindi mo pa ginagawa na alam mo mag-humble sa'yo. Diba? May mga tao kasing ganito eh. They will just use the ministry para umangat sila at para masabi ng tao na successful sila. Don't do that, man. I tell you, the rule, the principle of ministry is always humility. Christ must increase. I must decrease. It's not big. Minsan kasi ganito eh. Akala natin tayo yung pinapalakpakan ng Panginoon kasi magaling tayo mag-deliver, ang galing mong sumigaw, ang galing mong mag-rhyme, ang galing mong mag-joke. Man, kung bakit ka pinapalakpakan ng tao? Kasi dineliver mo yung word ng Panginoon. Nabe-bless sila, hindi actually sa'yo. Nabe-bless sila doon sa gumamit sa'yo kasi dineliver mo yung word ng Panginoon. We're just instruments. That's why I always tell to our preachers, sa mga nagpipreach, huwag niyong dadalhin sa ulo ninyo yung mga compliments because those are just temporary. Give it back to God. Humanly speaking, you are being encouraged. Thank you po for the compliment. All glory belongs to God. So mga kapatid, I am encouraging you as I end. Maganda po ang mahalin natin ang Panginoon. At yes, may mga times sa buhay natin na napapakinabangan tayo. Natutulungan tayo ng mga tao. But learn how to love the people as they are. Hindi dahil binigyan ka ng regalo, hindi dahil binati ka, because I tell you, people change. Now, how do we live with this truth? Tayo po bilang tao. Or ikaw bilang pastor na nakakaramdam ng feeling ko mahal lang nila ako kapag ganito. First is this, you have to check your identity. Ask yourself honestly, do I draw my worth from being needed or being known by God? Because if your value rises and falls with usefulness, nandyan ang burnout. Number 2, strengthen yourself in the Lord. Before strategies, before systems, before explanations, before fixing people, return to God without performing. Strengthen yourself in the Lord. Number 3, you got to love people, but do not idolize affirmation. Why? Because people will appreciate you today, tomorrow, next week, this month, but they will misunderstand you tomorrow. God, He remains constant. Number 4, choose covenant over crowds. Hindi po lahat ng pumapalakpas sa inyo ay committed sa'yo. And okay lang yun. Not everyone respect me as a pastor. Even as a person, I don't care. And that's okay. Because kung titignan niyo po si Jesus himself chose only 12. And even then, one betrayed him. Actually, lahat nga po sila, iniwan si Jesus. Diba? So don't forget that, mga kapatid. Check your identity para hindi kayo masaktan. Ang identity nyo na kay Kristo. Strengthen yourself in the Lord. Number 2. Number 3 is love people but don't idolize affirmation. Number 4, choose covenant over crowds. Here's my final word, mga kapatid. If people only love you when you're useful, be discerning enough. Be careful enough because they're not loving you. They are just consuming you. At tandaan niyo po to, your calling is not validated by applause, by likes, by shares. Your faithfulness is not measured by relevance. Your faithfulness is not measured by relevance. Like Paul, like Christ. Ginawa nila yung will ng Father, yung will ni Kristo. Just for you. Just for us. And that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like our podcast. Mabuhay po kayo, and God bless you.